I am Sudha Periyathai, Assistant Professor of Physics, the Standard 5X Rajaratnam College for Women, Sivagasi. Hi students, in this class we are going to see the quantum mechanical behavior of a particle in the case of a square potential barrier of height V0 and thickness A. And we are going to obtain expressions for the reflection and transmission coefficients. Figure shows a one-dimensional square potential barrier of height V0 and thickness A. Let us consider the one-dimensional collision of a particle with a square potential barrier V of x. We are interested in a particle that approaches from the region of negative x and is reflected or transmitted by the barrier. In classical problem, the particle is always reflected if its energy is less than that of the top of the barrier, that is E is less than V0, and it is always transmitted if its energy is greater, then E is greater than V0. In quantum problem, we can see that both reflection and transmission occur with finite probability for most energies of the particle. Emission of alpha particles from the nucleus and field emission of electrons are examples of tunneling phenomenon. Next, we consider three regions. Region 1 where x is less than 0 and region 2 where the x lies between 0 and a, and region 3 where x is greater than a. Let us define the potential in the three regions as follows. For x less than 0 and x greater than a, V of x equal to 0, and for x lies between 0 to a, V of x equal to V0, and V0 is positive. Let us see the behavior of the wave function at great distances, that is asymptotic behavior. As stated earlier, we are interested in representing a particle that approaches from left with energy E greater than 0 and may be turned back by the potential barrier or penetrate through it. Thus, the asymptotic behavior, that is in the regions where V of x equal to 0, is as follows. For x less than 0, we want the wave function to represent a particle moving to the left, that is reflected particle, as well as to the right, that is incident particle. For x greater than a, we want the wave function to represent only a particle moving to the right, that is transmitted particle. A particle in a force-free region that is moving in a definite direction with definite energy necessarily has a definite momentum. Such a particle can be represented by a one-dimensional momentum eigenfunction u of x proportional to e power I p x by h cross if the particle is moving in the positive x direction with momentum p, and u of x proportional to e power minus I p x by h cross if the particle is moving in the negative x direction with the same energy. Thus, the wave equation in the regions where V of x equal to 0 is minus h cross squared by 2m d squared u by dx squared equal to E into u. The asymptotic solutions are: in the region 1 where x is less than or equal to 0, u1 of x equal to a e power I kx plus b e power minus I kx. In region 3 where x is greater than or equal to a, u3 of x equal to c e power I kx, where a, b and c are the amplitudes of incident, reflected and transmitted wave functions respectively. The magnitude of the propagation number k is defined as p by h cross, which equals plus 2me by h cross squared whole power half. The character of the solution inside the potential barrier depends on whether E is greater than or less than V0. Let us consider E greater than V0. Now we can define a propagation number inside the barrier as alpha equal to 2m E minus V0 by h cross squared whole power half. The solution is u2 of x equal to f e power I alpha x plus g e power minus I alpha x, where x is defined as between 0 and a, that is region 2. Now, the continuity conditions on the wave functions and their derivatives at x equal to 0 and x equal to a gives 4 relations between 5 coefficients a, b, c, f and g. Now, in the region 1 and 2 meet at x equal to 0. Thus, from equations 5 and 9, we have the wave functions u1 at x equal to 0 equals a plus b and u2 of x at x equal to 0 equals f plus g. The corresponding derivatives du1 by dx equals a e power ikx into ik minus ik b e power minus ikx. Then the derivative of the wave function u1 of x at x equal to 0 gives a into ik minus b into ik. Then the derivative of the wave function in the second region d by dx of u2 of x equal to f e power I alpha x into I alpha minus g e power minus I alpha x into I alpha. Now the derivative of the wave function at x equal to 0 equals f into I alpha minus g into I alpha. At x equal to a, regions 2 and 3 meet. Hence, the wave function u2 of x at x equal to a is found to be f e power I alpha a plus g e power minus I alpha a, and the corresponding derivative function at x equal to a is I alpha f e power I alpha a minus I alpha g e power minus I alpha a. Then the wave function in the third region u3 of x at x equal to a is c e power I k a, and the corresponding derivative at x equal to a is I k c e power I k a. As already told, at x equal to 0, regions 1 and 2 meet. Hence, we can equate the wave functions at x equal to 0 in the two regions u1 of x at x equal to 0 equal to u2 of x at x equal to 0, and their corresponding derivatives u1 prime of x at x equal to 0 equal to u2 prime of x at x equal to 0. From the previous equations, we can equate a plus b equal to f plus g and I k a minus I k b equals I alpha f minus I alpha g. Also, at x equal to a, regions 2 and 3 meet. Hence, we are equating the wave functions and their corresponding derivatives. Hence, we have f e power I alpha a plus g e power minus I alpha a equals c e power I k a, and I alpha f e power I alpha a minus I alpha g e power minus I alpha a equals I k c e power I k a. Thus, we have 4 equations 21, 22, 24 and 25 with 5 coefficients a, b, f, g, c. Now, we have to eliminate f and g from equations 24 and 25 and solve the ratios c by a and b by a. We know what is a, b and c, isn't it? C is the amplitude of the transmitted wave, b is the amplitude of the reflected wave, and a is the amplitude of the incident wave. We have to calculate these ratios. Then, from equations 24 and 25, again we have rewritten f e power I alpha a plus g e power minus I alpha a equal to c e power I k a. In equation 25, cancel I throughout. We get alpha f e power I alpha a minus alpha g e power minus I alpha a equal to k c e power I k a. Now, as usual, multiply equation 26 by alpha and subtract, do the calculations. Then we get 2 alpha g e power minus I alpha a equal to c e power I k a alpha minus k. From this, we can evaluate g equal to c by 2 alpha e power I k a by e power minus I alpha a alpha minus k. Then finally, we get expression for g as g equal to c by 2 alpha e power I k a plus alpha a into alpha minus k. Now, you substitute this expression for g in equation 26, then we get equation 31. Now, you do the mathematical steps carefully and you can stop this video and you go through the steps and finally we obtain expression for f as c by 2 alpha e power I a k minus alpha into alpha plus k. Now you substitute expressions for f and g in equation 21 and 22. From 21 we have a plus b equal to f plus g, and we have substituted the expressions for f and g, and you take c by 2 alpha common, then you obtain expression as equation 35. Then from 22 we have equation ka minus kb equal to alpha into f minus g. Then here also you take alpha into c by 2 alpha as common, then you get the expression as 37. Now you look at these two equations 35 and 37. In 35 we are having a plus b, and 37 we have ka minus kb. Now as usual you multiply 35 by k and add with 37, then we get expression for c by a. Then when you multiply equation 35 by k and then subtracting with 37, we get the ratio b by c. Now let us find the ratio c by a. For that you multiply the equation 35 by k and add with 37. We get 2ka equal to ck by 2 alpha into the addition of these two terms plus c alpha by 2 alpha into subtraction of these two terms. Now you notice the marked symbols tick mark and asterisk. Now you collect the terms as per the symbols. After collecting the terms, we get expression as given by equation 39. In equation 39, we can write alpha minus k as minus of k minus alpha. Then we obtain equation 40. Then here you take the term c by 2 alpha e power I a k as common. Then you rewrite the equations as given by equation 41. Now you divide both sides by e power minus I a alpha, and then doing the mathematical steps carefully, we obtain expression for the ratio c by a as 4k alpha e power I alpha minus k into a by alpha plus k the whole square minus k minus alpha the whole square e power 2I a alpha. Next we have to find the ratio b by c. As already told, you multiply the equation 35 by k and subtract with 37, we get equation 44. Then you collect the terms as per the marked symbols tick mark and asterisk symbol, then you get equation 45. And here also we can write alpha minus k as minus of k minus alpha. Now you get the equation 46. After collecting the terms and by rearranging, we get the expression for b by c as k squared minus alpha squared into e power I a k minus alpha minus e power I a k plus alpha by 4k alpha. Next we want to find the ratio b by a. We have expressions for c by a and b by c. By multiplying these two terms, we get expression for b by a. Now you substitute the ratio c by a and b by c, and doing simplifications, we get the ratio b by a equal to k squared minus alpha squared into 1 minus e power 2I alpha a by alpha plus k the whole square minus k minus alpha the whole square e power 2I a alpha. Thus we have the ratios b by a and c by a. These are the scattering coefficients are the absolute squares of the ratios b by a and c by a. That is, modulus of b by a the whole square is termed as reflection coefficient, and modulus of c by a the whole square is termed as transmitted coefficient. The reflection coefficient, which is defined as r equal to b by a the whole square, which is nothing but b by a conjugate into b by a, is found to be 1 plus 4 k squared alpha squared by k squared minus alpha squared the whole square into sin squared alpha a the whole inverse. Now you substitute for k and alpha. The value for k is 2me by h cross squared whole power half, and alpha is 2m e minus v naught by h cross squared whole power half. Then after substituting, we get r equal to 1 plus 4e into e minus v naught by v naught squared sin squared alpha a whole inverse. Similarly, we can find expression for the transmission coefficient, which is defined as t equal to c by a the whole square, that is c by a conjugate into c by a. Then after substituting the values for k and alpha, we get 1 plus v naught squared sin squared alpha a by 4e into e minus v naught the whole inverse. Now the equations for r and t satisfy the relation r plus t equal to 1, which is the expected one. Now let us see the transmission coefficient when the particle energy approaches the energy of the top of the barrier, that is E tends to V naught. As E tends to V naught, alpha becomes small, by which sin alpha becomes alpha. Then we get t equal to 1 plus v naught squared alpha squared a squared by 4e into e minus v naught whole inverse. Now you substitute for alpha, and then after simplification, the transmission coefficient approaches 1 plus m v naught squared a squared by 2h cross squared whole inverse. Now the next case, the energy value greater than v naught. Here the transmission coefficient oscillates between a steadily increasing lower envelope and unity as shown in the figure. Next, the reflection and transmission coefficients for the energy values lying between 0 and V naught are obtained by replacing alpha by I beta in equations 43 and 51, where beta is defined as 2m V naught minus E by h cross squared whole power half. Now the transmission coefficient becomes t equal to 1 plus V naught squared sin h square beta a by 4e into V naught minus E whole inverse. As E decreases below V naught, t value decreases monotonically from 1 plus m V naught squared a squared by 2h cross squared whole inverse. This behavior is referred to as tunneling through the barrier. Now let us see, when beta a is very much greater than 1, sin h beta a is given as half times e power beta a. Now the second term in t dominates. Therefore, t is approximately equal to v naught squared e power 2 beta a by 4e into v naught minus e into 4 the whole inverse. This can be rewritten as 16e into v naught minus e by v naught squared into e power minus 2 beta a. Thus, we have seen the quantum mechanical behavior of a particle in the case of a square potential barrier, and obtained expressions for the scattering coefficients for energy value greater than the height of the barrier V naught, and the energy value approaches V naught, and for the energy value less than V naught. Thank you.